Hi there, YouTube chart bar checking in on Bitcoin, dollar, and Ethereum. So crazy action we are seeing today. Still the 2 weekly time frame on a 7 of 9. We would have to lose the green 7 if the 2 weekly time frame closes lower than 4 bars ago. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have to close lower than 18,400, which is, in my opinion, not likely. Some momentum on the macro term time frame is still fine. The weekly time frame on a 7 of 9. So this price flip will only occur if we close lower than 4 bars ago, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we would have to close lower than the closing price of 23,000. In my opinion, that's not likely to happen this week. So momentum on a macro term time frame, bulls are still in control. We are just looking for a higher low on the weekly time frame. The 3-day time frame on a 7 of 9 and the daily time frame was on a 9. So we were looking for some warning signals that I covered in our previous video. We'll zoom in to that one a little bit more. So the daily time frame is trying to find uh, a higher low, maybe at TD support. Who knows? We'll zoom in for that. 12-hour time frame on a 9 as well. So daily and 12-hour time frame, we're giving a little bit of a heads up that our top might be in. The 6-hour time frame, as we covered in our previous video, had my interest. I was in a long position and I was going to add once the price broke 41,406, and that of course didn't happen. My stop loss was at 40,000, which was the line in the sand for the bulls. So my stop loss is hit, and then as we can see right here, there was a cascade of stop losses on a loss of the 6-hour high-low pattern, and now the bulls are struggling to find a bottom. So I was stopped out completely here. I didn't add to any long positions. I filled one long position currently at 32,000 and looking to add more on the first 4-hour oversold RSI. So let's check in on the 4-hour. So 4-hour time frame is dipping below the 30 level on the 4-hour RSI. So in my opinion, that's a good signal to go long. Currently, this is a bearish cascade, but I'm trying to fill some positions below the 30,000 flush. So 4-hour time frame oversold conditions. That's the first thing to be watching as a bull. And then you can zoom into the weekly time frame, open up your 12 and 26 EMAs. So weekly time frame, still a lot of space for the weekly EMA. I'm potentially watching the 3-day EMA at 29,000. 230 to touch, and then the bulls to make it back, potentially form a equilibrium pattern. We'll see. That's all depending on the size of the bounce, but I'm looking for a flush toward down to 30,000 psychological. With the 4-hour oversold conditions, that should be a nice opportunity for another long entry. Another warning signal was the weekly RSI, which was up at 94. So looking back historically, we can see that the RSI has never been this high. If you go to, I think it's Bitstamp, which has a longer history of the BTC price action, you can see that it has been since 2013 that the RSI has been this high. So bulls were looking for some consolidation on the weekly time frame. This is what we are seeing right now. It all depends. Zooming in to the 3-day time frame, watching the 12 EMA and watching for 4-hour oversold conditions, potentially on a P9. So most likely in the next 5 hours, bulls have a good chance to find some support. So initially, Ethereum was leading the way, as we covered on the ETH BTC chart. It was more bullish. So Ethereum USD reflected the price action. So Ethereum USD was running, but I warned everybody that I would exit my Ethereum long positions once the BTC 4-hour and 6-hour equilibrium broke bearish at 40,000. So that's what I did. My Ethereum stop loss got hit, and right now I'm not playing any Ethereum. My focus is on Bitcoin as the 4-hour oversold is approaching. So maybe one thing more to note is the 12-hour risk line, which didn't break. So as long as the 12-hour risk line held, bulls ideally want to not open up any positions. So yeah, Ethereum USD following the BTC weakness. So that's one thing to note. If Ethereum USD is running and Bitcoin is consolidating, you don't want to be in any Ethereum, which, well, because if Bitcoin is weak, then Ethereum will also follow suit. So Bitcoin short-term action, the 4-hour oversold conditions, and the 3-day EMA. We'll check in on the dollar index. So the dollar index is bouncing more than anticipated, as we covered in our previous video. Bulls, ideally, the crypto bulls don't want to see a green 2 close above a green 1 above the highs of P9. So this is a bullish entry trying to confirm on the dollar index. The 12-hour time frame is looking very bullish on the dollar with a 6 of 9. So ideal case for the crypto bulls would be the dollar index to bounce a little bit more and then potentially touch the 12-hour TD resistance. The 6-hour time frame has broken TD resistance, so shorter term on the DXY looking more bullish than bearish on a 5 of 9 and a break of TD resistance. So this could be your inverse head and shoulders with a break of the clear neckline resistance right here. The 4-hour time frame, same story. I was anticipating a 4-hour TD touch and then potentially break back to lower lows, but we broke TD resistance and the 4-hour is on a P9. So 4-hour, 6-hour, still very much bullish. 12-hour time frame, still bullish on the dollar index, and the daily is trying to confirm a green 2 above a green 1. So if that happens, in my opinion, that's a warning signal for the crypto bulls that we might see some prolonged sideways action or prolonged bearish action to the downside. So keep your eyes on the DXY for potential BTC entry clues. But for now, ideally, bulls want to see a 4-hour oversold bounce, and we'll take it from there. So take care, guys. Bye.